Hey, what up? What up? Just want to make a quick video. It's in regards to the Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia fight. I think it's an excellent fight, or excellent fight that should be made. Um, like I said, I'm very excited to watch the fight and see it. First and foremost, my prediction video. Who I think is gonna win. I just want to first start off by saying that, in my whole honest truth, I don't think Danny Garcia wanted this fight from the very beginning. I don't think he ever wanted to necessarily fight um, Errol Spence. I don't think he wanted to. I think that, and even Sean Porter to a certain degree, I don't think he always wanted that fight either. I think he was more forced to get into that fight, but then again, I can give Sean Porter the benefit of the doubt more than Danny Garcia, given the fact that he's pretty much fought everybody. So I can give him the benefit of the doubt a little bit. But what really opened up the bag for everybody or certain fighters now wanting to fight Errol Spence is because Mikey Garcia, a 135 pounder who went up to 147 pounds to fight Errol Spence. And when they saw that Errol Spence couldn't get Danny Mikey Garcia out of there, Sean Porter was like, all right, let me take this fight. I can lose, I may lose, but hey, he didn't get him out. I'm not gonna get embarrassed by getting stopped or for whatever reason outclassed. I will last the fight, and it's a payday. So that's why I think Sean Porter really had a more urgency to take the fight. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was for Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia seeing that, all right, he's not stopping some of these guys right now. For the last two fights, he hasn't stopped anybody. So let me take the fight. I think that's exactly what happened with Danny Garcia. He couldn't stop Sean Porter. He couldn't stop the smaller Mikey Garcia. So he's like, I finally take the fight, and it's a payday. It'll be a good payday. So I think that's why, especially Danny Garcia took the fight. Like I said, I'll give Sean Porter the benefit of the doubt a little bit more, given the fact that he's fought Adrian Bona. He's fought guys like Thurman, Danny in the past. He's fought bigger guys like Kell Brook. So I can give him the benefit of the doubt a little more. But yeah, but as for Danny Garcia, nah, he simply took the fight, in my opinion, because he didn't stop. He saw that Errol Spence wasn't stopping his last two opponents for whatever reason. We know that he had a strength and conditioning coach, or his normal strength and conditioning coach for his last two fights. So but yeah, as for like I said, Danny Garcia, I don't believe he really wanted to fight. And even with this fight right now, I don't believe Danny Garcia believes in himself that he's gonna win the fight. I don't believe that his whole family, even his coach, trainer, his dad, I don't believe he believes that he's gonna win. I don't believe anybody in his corner believes he's gonna win. I believe they're just going there to do their best, and that's it. As far as who I think is gonna win the fight, I think Errol Smith. I think Errol Smith is gonna um, do a masterful job today. Not That's not to say that this fight won't be a good fight. Not to say that it won't be interesting a little bit. But my main point of me believing that Errol Smith is gonna win is because, for one, I don't believe Danny Garcia believes in himself. I don't think so. I think a lot of what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. It's one thing having the skills. It's one thing having the skills and talent and punching power and all that. But if you don't believe in yourself, those stuff will not manifest in the ring. And I don't believe Danny Garcia believes in himself. That's first and foremost. Um, I don't believe Danny Garcia is gonna give it his all. You know what I'm saying? even if he does give it his all, I don't think it'll be enough. There's a lot of times fighters they go into a fight and they half-ass it, or they don't give it. Like I said, they don't give it their all. And I don't think Danny Garcia is gonna do that. And even if he gives it all, I don't think he has enough where Errol Spence is at. I think even Errol Spence, not even at 100%. I believe he's just that much better than Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia, to me, Danny Garcia is just a very he's like an average. He's like above, just a little bit above average fighter to me. I think he's like a B plus fighter. Um, that's it. I don't think he's any more than that. Like I said, even Errol Spence out of 80%. Even the Errol Spence that fought Mikey Garcia, the Errol Spence that fought Sean Porter, still beats Danny Garcia. Even today. I just think he's that much better than Danny Garcia. I don't think. I think it's a bunch of nonsense. You know what they're saying. Angel Garcia said that they're gonna knock Errol Spence out in the 7th round. That's a bunch of nonsense. I mean, the only way you could see that happening is if the car accident really had that much effect on Errol Spence and his whole physiology and how he's gonna be able to take punches, then okay, he probably can land a punch and really, shake Errol Spence or really shock the world. You know what I'm saying? That's if his whole physiology is not up to par of what it was before. But if we're going into the idea that he's the same Errol Spence and he's recovered from whatever, then I don't see that happening at all. I don't see any of that stuff happening. This is the same, like, come on, this is the same Errol. And I don't like to compare fighters with other fighters, but at this level, when you get to a certain level, like there's no core, like there's only so much. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell me the same guy that fought Red Cat and couldn't stop Red Cat. His last fight, he couldn't stop people like Lamont Peterson. Like the people that he stopped are not even high level. Rios is never a high level fighter like that. What's the one? What's the other guy he stopped? I'm talking about at 147. What's the other guy he stopped? I forgot his name. The one that fought Adrian Broner. He stopped him, but he's not a high level fighter. They're both Mexican fighters. It's not the same Mexican. That's not the same Mexican fighter. They're not high level, but those two weren't high level. Come on, and we know Mexican style. Like it has nothing to do with defense. It really has nothing to do with defense. They don't really care about defense. You're talking about Errol Spence, who's regarded as a good defensive fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's not the best, but he's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's not knocking Errol Spence out. Like, come on. He's not stopping him. And this is another problem I have with Danny Garcia. It's not to hate on Danny Garcia. I just think he's such a mediocre fighter. Like I said, I think he's a B plus fighter. He was a champion, but I don't think he's not on Errol Spence level. I think he's like this fight is like Errol Spence fighting Mikey Garcia again in a kind of sort of way. I think it's the same thing. Which is why I think Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia will be a good fight. I think that'll be a good fight. But you're talking about two guys, Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, who don't really have a motor. Like, they don't. They're strictly counter punchers. That's the thing about counter punchers or fighters who are strictly counter punchers. They don't, a lot of times, they don't have a high motor. They're just looking to counter punch. Same thing with Adrian Broner now, or what Adrian Broner has become, a strictly counter puncher. No, someone who's just strictly fighting off the back foot, or someone who's always looking to come second. That's a huge problem. Those people can never beat somebody like Errol Spence because Errol Spence not only he can catch and shoot and counter punch, but he has a high motor. That's why Danny Garcia had trouble with Sean Porter. Sean Porter's not a big puncher, not at all, but he has a high motor. Come on, you're not gonna these guys will give you like 600 to 800 punches a fight. even 1,000 if they need. I think Errol Spence hit 1,000 punches in one fight. The Danny Garcia fight, the Mikey Garcia fight, he had over 1,000 punches thrown. You think Danny Garcia, he probably throws like 300, 400 punches a fight. That's not. He's gonna have to double up his punches. You're not gonna be able to, he's not gonna be able to keep up with Errol Spence if he's gonna punch a couple times, like what, 20 punches around 30. Like, come on, you're gonna have to double your punches up. You're gonna have to double your punch count. And Danny Garcia has never been somebody who has had a high motor or high volume of punches. You don't learn that overnight in one camp. You don't. You can't. You can't teach that. You can't teach that because he's strictly about counterpunching. And don't get me wrong, a punch can end the fight, but you cannot expect this at this high level fighting like someone like Errol Spence. You can't be banking on just landing that one lucky punch. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And so that's my main point. That's why for me, Errol Spence is mainly gonna win. His motor is very high, and not only that, not only his motor is very high, most of his punches, he's not like this Sean Porter who just throwing a lot of punches. Most of his punches are hard jabs, hard body work. Like I said, I believe I forgot who said it, but like most of his punches are like 80% of his power. So everything is coming, everything he's throwing is hard. Not only just he ain't just throwing, these are hard punches coming at you. And so this should be interesting. So Errol Spence he has a higher motor. He has a better jab, more reach. That's nothing. He's gonna have to get past that jab. Um, Danny Garcia, his best bet is for it to be in the middle of the ring, or for it to be I forgot what was that. Yeah, middle of the ring, mid distance. If it's not mid distance, he's not gonna have a lot of success. If he can't get in between that mid distance, not long, not too long range. He don't want to be too far away from Spence, trying to catch him with a jab. But if he can get in between a inside game and the outside game, mid distance, then that's his best bet. He can get his best stuff off, in between there. But if you can't get in between those lines, and um, just keep picking up with that, picking him off with that jab, doubling it up, tripling it up, then a 1-2 counter, jab to the body. It's gonna be a long night for him. It may even look like another Mikey Garcia fight. And don't count a stoppage either, or even a knockdown. Me, I'm gonna go for a stoppage. I think Errol's gonna stop him. He's more focused this fight. He's had a longer training camp. He's been training since March. You know what I'm saying? So he's had a long time to train. I want to go for the stoppage. I'm definitely going for stoppage. Now, if he had trained with what's his name, Blu-ray, I would have definitely went for the stoppage. I would have definitely said for the stoppage. I would have definitely been 100% about the stoppage. But I'm still gonna go for the stoppage, without Blu-ray or not. I think he's just too strong for Danny Garcia. I think he has the speed advantage. I think he has the footwork advantage. I think he has advantage in all cylinders. I don't see any way where Danny Garcia has an advantage. I think he has advantage everywhere. There's nothing really Danny Garcia does really excellent. I mean, he does have good accuracy, good counter punching. Even though I give Errol Spence advantage in every way or every capacity, I still think Danny Garcia will make it a good fight just until he gets stopped. Especially when he gets at the inside, he's not gonna be able to fight him on the inside. Once he gets on the inside, that's gonna be a lose game for Danny Garcia. Definitely lose game. His best bet, like I said, is mid range. Is his best bet. What else? Like I said, I don't think he believes himself. I think him and his team, or him himself, knows that he's not gonna win. I think he's there, to get a payday, or maybe to see maybe if Errol Spence is not what he was before. But I got Errol Spence by stoppage. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my prediction video. Um, yeah, but Errol Spence, like, you know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, he just better watch out. Make sure his defense is on point, because Danny Garcia, he can crack too. That's not to say that Danny can crack. I think that Danny's definitely a bigger puncher than Sean Porter, or pretty much I think any of the fighters he's been in the ring with. Kell Brook, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, that's my prediction. Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll hit y'all later.